Hi, I'm Suzie Dills, and I'm the director here at the Hoover-Price Planetarium at the William McKinley Presidential Library and Museum, and welcome to August Astro Adventures. We have so much to talk about today because August is a spectacular month for getting out there and looking up at the night sky. And this month is going to be fantastic. We have brilliant planets. We have the Perseid meteor shower. And we also have the summer Milky Way, and not to mention those great sounds of late summer. So let's head out on our adventure. First thing I want to talk about is the night of August 12th. That's the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. So if you're a fan of shooting stars, this is the night you're going to want to get out and look up. And our Perseid meteor shower is courtesy of Comet Swift-Tuttle. So as it passed close by the sun, it had interactions. I left behind a trail of debris, so those very small particles of ice and dust are just kind of hanging around in our solar system. And every year, Earth has to pass through that debris. And we pass through the densest part of the debris on the night of August 12th. So that's our best night to get out and see shooting stars. And as we make that travel around, we're going to be facing towards the constellation Perseus. Therefore, we call that the radiant. So they will radiate from the constellation Perseus. We have Perseus rising in the northeast around 11 p.m. So if you look at these two diagrams here, you're going to see on the left, you can see the pattern of the Big Dipper. You can see the W shape, which is Cassiopeia. And then just below there is where the constellation Perseus would be located. So that's that radiant point. But just to get you situated onto what part of the sky you're going to see a lot of shooting stars radiating from. And then if I put up the constellation patterns, you can see the Big Bear, the Big Dipper. You can see our hero Perseus holding the head of Medusa. So this is what you're going to want to do. At 9:30, you're going to grab your lawn chair, blanket, snacks, and you want to get your family and friends. If you're in a dark sky area, or if you've decided to head out to somewhere where you can get away from light pollution, you're going to see about 50 to 75 shooting stars per hour. How cool is that? But if you're at home, if you're in your neighborhood, you got some light pollution, that's okay. Just shield yourself from bright lights, and you can see about 20 per hour. You're going to have some brighter shooting stars streaking across the sky. And we're going to see that the last quarter moon is going to be rising around midnight, so we're going to start to see that moonlight creeping in. But if you're out around 9:30, it'll get good and dark around 10:30. You'll have a little bit of time before that moonlight starts to head on in. And we're seeing Perseid meteor shower, some of those Perseids right now, all the way through August 26th, because that debris field is pretty wide. All right, so let's talk about the night sky highlights. We're going to start off with those visible planets. And we have our two gas giants still putting on quite a spectacular show in our southern sky. So if you're facing west where the sun goes down, you're going to turn to the left. Brilliant Jupiter, the king of the planets, is going to catch your eye. And then just to the left, down a little, you'll see a more golden colored object. That is the planet Saturn. And boy, if you have a telescope or you want to get out and practice or get that telescope out for the first time, you're going to have such a treat when you see these two planets in your eyepiece, especially lovely Saturn. So face south, brilliant Jupiter, and then make that little trek to the left for golden colored Saturn. And Mars continues to brighten. It continues to get closer to planet Earth in its orbit. So we're going to continue to see that brilliant red-orange object. In around mid-month, it's going to be coming up around 11:30. And then brilliant Venus, which has been putting on a show in our morning skies, rises at about 3:30. So if you're going to be staying up a little later watching those Perseids, you have quite a group of planets to view also as you're sitting out there enjoying your meteor shower show. And let's talk about the constellations. So once again, if you're looking south, we talked about if you're facing west, you're going to turn to the left. You're going to see brilliant Jupiter and Saturn, but you're going to notice if you look to the right of Jupiter, you're going to see a bright orange-red star. That's the star Antares. That's the heart of Scorpius. And then very close by where Jupiter and Saturn are, you might notice a teapot shape in the stars. That is the constellation Sagittarius, but sometimes it's easy to just look for that teapot pattern. But in between Sagittarius and Scorpius, that's where we have the Milky Way corridor runs through those two constellations, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Now, if you want to just look back to the west and kind of look overhead, we're continuing to see that brilliant star Arcturus. It's more of a orange-yellow color. Up from there, you'll see the semicircle of stars, Corona Borealis, looks like a necklace. And then above Corona is that crooked square shape, the body of Hercules, our bravest and strongest hero. And you can see our pictures to go along with our star patterns. And then just turning to the right, you're going to be facing north. You'll look for the Big Dipper continuing to swing down there in the northwest. You'll see the 7-star familiar pattern. If you take the 2 stars at the end of the cup, draw that imaginary line across, you'll come to the North Star or Polaris, which is at the end of the handle of the Little Dipper. And then down from the Little Dipper to the right slightly, you're going to see that W shape in the stars, Queen Cassiopeia. And one more trek to the right, and now we're facing east. And when you look up, you're going to see a very brilliant star, which is a star called Vega. You'll look down to the left, you'll see another bright one called Deneb, and then just go across to the right to Altair and connect those 3 bright stars in the eastern sky, and you have made the summer triangle. And this is going to be very important when we talk about how to view the Milky Way in a light-polluted neighborhood. And then what's really cool to try, head back to that star called Deneb, and imagine that to be the tail of beautiful Cygnus the Swan. And then to the right of that, you'll see 3 stars in a row. Those would make up the outstretched wings. And then the long neck and head, you'll see a star called Albireo, which is going to be just below that bright star Vega. And then if you're really good at practicing and you're following the map, just below our summer triangle is that kite shape in the stars, and that is Delphinus the dolphin. And here's a lovely image of that double star Albireo. This is the head of Cygnus the Swan. So when you're looking at that, it looks like it's just 1 star, but through a telescope, boy, what a beauty. Those 2 stars, stars of different colors, so that represents the temperature. So that's really a very awesome look at a double star there, the head of Cygnus the Swan. Let's talk about our binocular highlights. All right, so this is the fun one. I love this one. This is the coat hanger asterism. So a pattern that looks like an upside down coat hanger. So once again, have those binoculars handy. And you're going to find your summer triangle stars, locate Altair, And if you scan about 1/3 of the way up to that bright star Vega, you're going to see the coat hanger. So give it a try. Find Altair, scan about 1/3 up to where you see Vega, and you're going to see that upside down coat hanger. All right, this is the great part of summertime in August. So you have your lawn chair, you got your blanket, you got your binoculars. You're going to be nice and steady. You're going to lay back. You're going to find your summer triangle stars again. And you can see my triangle shape there on our picture, our image. Vega, Deneb, Altair. Even if you scan within the summer triangle, you'll be surprised how many stars you're going to see. And you can do this in a light polluted neighborhood. So if you can't see that Milky Way stretching across the sky, boy, binoculars are really going to give you a good view too. And then you can scan down to the right. If you continue all the way down there to the southern horizon, you're going to just make that, trek down, see to the right of Jupiter and Saturn, in between Sagittarius and Scorpius. Boy, that's a great part of the Milky Way corridor to look at through binoculars. And then if you go the other way to the left from the summer triangle, down through where you see Queen Cassiopeia, boy, like I said, you're going to just see a ton of stars, even with binoculars in a light polluted backyard. So it's pretty cool to see just an immense amount of stars. But if you're lucky enough to be in a dark sky location, you're going to look up and you're going to see that Milky Way corridor with just your eyes. So enjoy it. And of course, we have our Starry Trail map. This will be up on our Facebook page for the McKinley Museum. It'll also be up on my website. I also have the region of the Milky Way also sketched out on this map here, so you can see how it runs through Cassiopeia, the summer triangle, and then just down there between Sagittarius and Scorpio. And here's our family checklist. You can get out with your family and friends and check off what you can find in the night sky, and it's going to be great. Remember, the sun's going down earlier now too, but we have a lot to see and a lot of things that are easy to find. So get out there and enjoy. And don't forget to visit the Facebook page for the museum, also my website, starrytrails.com. I have all kinds of star maps, illustrations. I have my audio, so you can get out there and practice. But most of all, get out there and enjoy the last month of summer. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.